Welcome back. Amid the Pushpa 2 Stampede row, Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy, he met the Telugu film industry representatives. The Chief Minister said that the government will not compromise with the law and order in state, and stars need to be responsible for their fans. My colleague Uma Sudhir, she spoke to the top Telugu film producer D. Suresh Babu, who was present in that meeting. Listen in.
A lot of apprehension and tension building up to the meeting between the Chief Minister and the film industry leaders. I have with me D. Suresh Babu, producer and someone who attended the meeting this morning. You all came out smiling. It was like the happy ending to a Tollywood movie, or is it all for the audiences to watch?
Not at all. It was wholeheartedly satisfying meeting for everybody. Like you said, was there an apprehension? Yes, what is going to happen? And all of us went there. But by the end of the meeting, probably it was one of the best interactions between a chief minister and a industry. There was so much cordial relationship, so satisfactory. Everybody spoke their hearts off. It's not that they were worried to say something. They spoke whatever they wanted. And he was also very positive about it.
The speech, so to speak, in the assembly that the Chief Minister gave, that seemed to suggest that there's this hostility that's developing between the Chief Minister and the film industry, because with one brush, he did say that all of you queued up to go and meet Allu Arjun after he came out of jail. Did that come up? Because he was visibly upset and emotionally upset on that day.
See, many of these things are, in the sense, not intentionally created, but perceptionally created in the society by people who mean good or bad is not the thing. Those kinds of perceptions are always there. And today everybody is fighting for that headline every minute. And we are countering headlines on both sides. So sometimes we just don't take a step back, think and say what we need to say. We are all in a hurry. See, all of us, we all went to see Arjun as a personal friend. But we were also surprised that there was so much of media there. We were not even thinking that we thought it's a personal visit.
Was the film industry also caught in a sense in the political crossfire?
Maybe a little bit indirectly, yes. There was, it was, in the sense, as an industry, we've always been apolitical and non-religious. In the sense, that's been the stand. Whichever government comes, we are with that government. And we are always for the law of the land. Whether there is a big person or a small person, whoever is affected, we all, the majority of the industry and the industry bodies want the law of the land to be implemented. So there is not going to be any budging on that. Now, if there is some kind of help that we require, we will go and ask. But that's the stand that all of us have all taken.
So did the issue of the Sandhya Theatre episode and the developments that followed, did that figure at the meeting?
A couple of members spoke about it. They said, as an industry, we are sorry for what happened. It should not have happened. But at the same time, please don't take off our rights of going and watching a movie. And we also promise that there will be more caution in the way we address these large kinds of gatherings. The police also had suggestions on how to conduct these things, take better permissions, have better barricading, better things, and so that there is a system in which we can do these things. See, we ourselves have been noticing, it's not today. I remember Ramajira Garu stopped a film award function because there was a stampede in those days. That mass frenzy when it comes, there is no one who can control it. But we have to have that thought process of trying to map what might happen there and be cautious and not get caught up in this headlining business. That's when all these problems will happen.
The Chief Minister is reported to have said that no compromise on the law and order per se, and also putting the onus on celebrities and their private security teams to behave in a particular manner and issue guidelines. Is that what was discussed too?
No, there was a discussion on when we are hiring these agencies, just check the credentials of those agencies. It should not become, because you're hiring when you hire a security for your company, there's a certain way. Now you're hiring certain other people called bouncers. Now, who are they? Where are they coming from? What is it? Do proper cross-checking and only do that. That was suggested by the police.
I know you're not a political person, but you know the opposition parties have been commenting, saying that the meeting of a chief minister with the father of a person who is accused in this particular case will influence the case, or is not sending the right signal.
No, Arvind Garu did not speak about that case at all, and that was not at all there. And this was more for Hyderabad, the Telugu film industry, and how to make Hyderabad the national and international hub for cinema. That's the biggest. See, we are proud that we brought the industry from Chennai to Hyderabad. Our next goal is, can we make this a bigger place? We will be, as an industry, as individuals, we'll all be very proud if we can make this the national hub, the international hub for filmmaking. That's our goal. And that's all of us want to work towards. And that's the kind of cinema we've been making. When they started Bahubali, it was, and Eager, Rajmouli went a step ahead. Now we have to take those 10 steps ahead. We asked for support from the government to get us the right infrastructure, because it's very IT related today. A lot of AI relation is there. And this city is already an AI, is a IT, AI kind of city. So we wanted more support from them so that we can work together to try and reach those days. Earlier, we wanted land to build floors. Now we need huge IT technology. So that's the bigger picture that we want. And the government is also very interested in skilling. We are also very interested in reskilling our people and getting further skills to everybody. Because we are not going to stay on top if we don't know how to skill ourselves better. I knew it, I did it, that story is not going to last. Things are changing so fast, we want to be on top. We want the advertising film industry of the country to come here. We want the Netflixes and Amazons to have their bases here. We want everything in Hyderabad, and this town has enough to give everybody. So
the ecosystem here, in terms of tech, in terms of AI, in terms of skill, talent, is all existing already.
Yeah. So we just want to build up on that. So it'll be good for the local industry, and it'll be good for, and getting a, see, the size of media business might be big but not great enough like an IT business, but the visibility will make a lot of impact to the state. So that's what the earlier government did when they brought the industry from Chennai to Hyderabad. We need to do it now for the next generation.
One more visual which was very interesting from your meeting is Mr. Nagarjuna actually putting the shawl on the Chief Minister. There have been certain run-ins that happened, Mr. Nagarjuna's Zen convention being demolished, and yet today Mr. Arvind was there, Mr. Nagarjuna was there. This was meant to be also some kind of an icebreaker, isn't it? If there was a distance, if there was a gap.
Definitely, if there were small gaps, which happens in our lives, it happens with our own children, our parents. So if there was anything, it was cleaned off very, very well. At the end of the meeting, there were good smiles, good body languages with everybody. Everyone was positive.
One of the issues that was being spoken about is, after the incident happened, in the assembly, the Chief Minister announced that from now on, no premiere show, no incentives, you're coming to me for nothing. Was the air cleared on that, and how important is it for especially big films to have these kind of premiere shows?
See, in the industry also, there are two sets of voices on this. When the CM announced this, that there might not be prizes, the Telugu exhibitors of Andhra Pradesh, they conducted a meeting and they said, we will request even Chandrababu Naidu Garu not to give extra rates. Because many people feel that extra rates is not good in the long run. But that's a very debatable point. The people who make the films, they want it so that, see, Pushpa does not have extra rates anywhere in the rest of the country. And it broke all records. It's not that it needed it here. Probably it would have broken records otherwise also. But when you have an opportunity, we try to use that. So that way, I personally, each one has his own opinion. Whether they give the rates or not, those films are going to collect that kind of money. See, that's what proved in a Telugu star who can't speak Hindi, has made the biggest Hindi hit in a Hindi language where there is no price hike. It's period as it is, and they've done it. Same thing in Karnataka. It played to its levels, and it's the biggest there. So those, wherever people like a film, they'll take it to the next level.
On the Southern View tonight, we are looking at the state versus the star. In the last few weeks, we have seen almost as though real life is imitating the real life, an apparent confrontation between the chief minister and a big star, a confrontation, a face-off between the police and a star. What next on this Telangana thriller? To discuss more on this, I'm joined by my colleague Tanushka, as well as political analyst and commentator Dr. Sumansi Raman. First, coming to you, Tanushka, Suresh Babu, producer who we spoke to earlier today, made it sound like, Revanth Reddy was almost Santa and promising all possible to the Telugu film industry, and that they came back very happy in this Christmas season, because he has said that Telugu industry can in fact become the base for creating not just the Telugu industry in Hyderabad, but also Mollywood, a Collywood, a Bollywood, and even a Hollywood would come here. That's at least the dream that he has held out. But there would have been certain things that were not most comfortable between the film industry and the industry leaders as well. Tell us more about what we are hearing about what did not go quite so well between the Chief Minister and the industry leaders.
While of course the Chief Minister has extended his support as well to the film industry, as we have already heard and already discussed with respect to making Hyderabad this sort of a global capital for filmmaking, not just for Telugu films but across board films in different languages, even Hollywood. But the but factor comes in, wherein Chief Minister has said that his top priority remains law and order maintenance in the state, and that he will not see any sort of compromises on the same. And he has also called off for these benefit shows, or rather these premiere shows that happen for the promotion of these films in the state. He said that he's put an end to this from now onwards, which also means that there will be, this sort of it'll be what remains to be seen about this. What sort of impact does it have really on the film industry, or whether or not will it have an impact or not? And also, the Chief Minister has very clearly said that the Chief Minister very clearly
has been firm on what he is not going to compromise on, even as he is talking about the vision and the dream that he has for the Telugu film industry. He has been very firm on what he is not going to compromise on. Thank you so much for those inputs. We are also joined by Sridhar Reddy, spokesperson for the BRS, and we also have Mr. Kapil Madan, political analyst. Going to you first, Mr. Sridhar Reddy. This entire episode, now the film industry comes out and says that they are very happy with their meeting with the Chief Minister, and that there is no tension between the two sides, and possibly the Telugu film industry was possibly caught in a crossfire between political parties, and much of that gunfire was probably provided by the BRS.
Uma, what is for they are happy because they have they are not going to permit any premiere shows. They are not going to permit any benefit shows. They are not going to give any price hikes. So for that, I think the film industry is happy. Number one. Number two, I didn't understand the timing of this meeting. Basically, what's going to happen now? Settlement happened that all the cases against Allu Arjun will be dropped, or all other accused 18 will be dropped. Will that be the settlement? I don't understand this. See, the basic issue here is we were not rather speaking for Allu Arjun or speaking for somebody else. We were talking
cases
about
are going to be dropped,
Mr.
Sridhar Reddy. They are only saying that we don't have any problem with each other. We are going to be working with each other. What I'm saying is that the Telugu film industry was perhaps caught in that political crossfire because your leaders were tweeting, speaking on social media, and of course the Congress was responding as well.
See, if they had no problem, we also don't want the industry, or for that matter, anybody to fight with the government. In always, it's a harmonious and good environment prevail. But today, what I don't understand is that will the cases against Allu Arjun be dropped because this thing had happened, or will it continue? End of the day, this meeting looked like, look, now that the king is happy, now you can calm him down, you can cool him down. Look, everybody, all of us have come and pleaded with you. I never understood the timing of this meeting, because when tensions rose to that level, and when a case is filed and the matter is sub judice, in such an environment, a meeting of such nature takes place, as if that, this is a message to the industry, look boss, you have to fall in line. So I don't understand. However, we as a political party always want the environment to stay.
Mr. Reddy is raising this concern about the timing of this particular meeting because a police case has been registered
One
against
more
Mr.
point
Allu
I want
Arjun
to
and
add.
several others, and he is charged under very serious sections of the law. And this meeting coming at this time, Mr. Madan, do you feel that this is going to, in a sense, influence either the investigators or the entire course
That's
of
what I'm
this
saying, Mr.
case taking shape itself in the court of law? Do you think this was wrong timing?
So let me just say one thing here. What has happened in Mr. Allu Arjun case is a law and order issue. There is someone who has lost life, and there is an investigation which is going on. What I think should be avoided at this point in time is the politicization of this issue. While the other opposition parties are trying to give a political twist to it, and they're trying to project this as a fight between the government vis-a-vis the film industry. But I think, and I very strongly believe that this is grossly untrue, because you can't dispute the fact that someone has lost life. If someone has lost life, of course it is mandate of the law that there should be an investigation. I am not for a minute here raising any question as to who is responsible, but the point remains that it is only after the investigation you will be able to conclude who is the person who is actually responsible for the loss of life that we had.
Uma,
Okay, I'm going to go across to Dr. Sumant Raman. Sumant Raman, you have actually seen this kind of a confrontation play out in the state that you live in Tamil Nadu. CM versus mega star, CM versus big star. Do you believe that political interference within the film industry is something that has affected in this case as well? The commentary that came up in the public domain by all political parties, literally, I must say, has that in fact impacted this entire case and brought much more attention onto the Allu Arjun episode that has happened?
Yeah, Uma, I first of all see today's meeting as a welcome development to try and cool things down on both sides, and also a little bit of distancing, as it were, of this not being Tollywood versus Revanth Reddy and limiting it to perhaps Allu Arjun versus Revanth Reddy rather than the entire industry sort of, taking on the government or taking on the chief minister. So, in that sense, the damage control exercise on both sides, because again, it was in some circles felt that the chief minister was gunning for Mr. Arjun. So, I think that such a meeting will cool tempers down on all sides. Unfortunately, for the opposition parties in the state, it's not good news, because the issue cannot be blown up now on an ongoing basis. The questioning of Mr. Arjun is also complete, more or less, unless something new arises. So the matter is going to be allowed to rest, as it indeed should be. And this charge of vendetta and so on against the entire Telugu film industry that some of the opposition parties, are fanning, I think that Mr. Reddy will probably be disappointed that
I'm
the
sorry.
flames cannot be fanned much longer
No,
on
no,
this
no,
issue,
no,
at
no.
least.
Uma, hello.
Mr. Reddy, I should point out that while your leaders have spoken about, Allu Arjun and the manner in which he has been arrested, it is a fact that so far your leaders did not visit the hospital. I do know that Mr. Harish Rao, former health minister and senior leader of the party, has today visited the hospital and met with the family of Sri Tej, the boy who has been in an ICU for over 3 weeks now. But isn't it a fact that you spoke up when the Stars case came up, but you did not really go forward and stand in support, solidarity with the family that has suffered the maximum tragedy?
Uma, first thing I want to clarify, in the place of Allu Arjun, even a small actor is there. Also, we would have responded in the same fashion. We were only talking about, rather criticizing about, the way government is dealing with this case. Selective targeting. Number two, I want to tell you the facts, Sumant Ramanji. Neither the government, neither the chief minister, nor the cinematography minister, nor any part of the government has not responded till 12 days after the event occurred, rather the tragic incident occurred at Sandhya Theatre. Number three, people say law must be equal to all. It will have to take its own course of action. In Honorable Chief Minister Revanth Reddy's own village, one farmer sarpanch, ex-sarpanch, suicided. He wrote a suicide letter also. I am one of the chief minister's brother is responsible for my death. No case was booked. What I'm trying to tell you, the selective targeting, Allu Arjun is not material for us. For us, Telangana pride, Telangana governance, the environment in Telangana is important. How the government
Mr. Kapil Madan here.
Finally,
One political analyst
one
has
point.
in fact said
Finally,
that
one
at the time
point.
when we have Pushpa, the rule that is doing very, very well at the box office, it is
You have to allow me
RRR
one
actually.
point.
That's what a political analyst has said. It is Revanth Reddy rule that he has established. Has he really shown that who is the real boss by, in a sense, bringing the film industry to come and speak to him and blow the police pipe in many senses? Kapil Madan, do you see this round as going to Mr. Revanth Reddy for having established that RRR perhaps is bigger than Pushpa the rule?
No, I don't really believe, or this should not be propagated. Again, I said that it is purely a law and order issue. There is an unnecessary rhetoric and politicization of this issue, because of which you're trying to, and there are section of people on the social media who are trying to make this as an issue wherein they're trying to show this as a fight between the film industry and the present incumbent government, but this is absolutely untrue and far from truth. The fact remains that there is an investigation, law is taking its own course, and whatever needs to be done during the process of the law will be done.
Absolutely. Whatever the process of the law, that will be done. Thank you so much, Dr. Sumansi Raman, Sridhar Reddy, as well as Mr. Kapil Madan for joining us on this show. So is it curtains down on this issue, at least the tensions between Tollywood and the Chief Minister? Or should we say picture abhi baki hai? Thanks so much for watching. Watch the space for more updates and analysis on what's happening in this Telangana thriller.